Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
Up next, we have Mark in Minneapolis. Hey, Mark. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for taking my call.
Absolutely. How can we help?
Well, I wanted to know if you guys had dealt with anything like a promissory note being repaid. I have a promissory note kind of hanging over my head, about $26,000 from a previous job. The contract was, or I was supposed to stay there for 2 years, left for personal reasons, only had about 3 months left until the 2 years was up. But now it's with an attorney, and we don't have anywhere near that amount of money to pay. I just don't know if you guys have ever heard of getting out of a promissory note, or what do you think I should do?
Well, I mean, this is a legal contract that you signed, and it said, hey, you get $26,000. What was this for? Relocation?
Relocation.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
and if you leave within the 2 years, you owe us this money back. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
And so you broke that contract, and there are consequences for breaking contracts, and one of those is you owe $26,000. So what happened to the 26? Did you spend it all?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we used it for relocation, went from Texas over here. So
what made you leave 3 months before the contract was up?
I just knew that I wasn't going to be able to honestly fulfill the duties of the role, and the travel just took too much time away from my family, and I wanted to be with the family.
Okay.
That's what I prioritized.
Okay.
But you knew you would owe this upon quitting. Like, this wasn't a surprise.
Somewhat, yeah. When I quit, my boss said he wasn't sure that they would actually do anything, but he didn't really know.
And they enforced it.
Yeah, it's with an attorney right now.
And they've contacted you and expecting some type of payment.
Correct.
Yeah.
Other than trying to settle and negotiate, there's no way to skirt around the law if you sign the contract. So your best bet is to go, listen, I don't have $26,000. Are you willing to negotiate a smaller payment to call this good? That's what I would do if I was in your shoes.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys have any money saved, Mark?
Okay. No, and I'm sure we could talk for hours on our situation, but yeah, we have no money.
Okay. How much are you making a year now?
I make 100.
Okay. Does your wife work?
Yeah, she makes about 60.
60. Okay, so you take home pay 160, household income, and what other debt do you guys have?
Quite a bit. I would say from credit cards to some consolidation loans, around 100.
Okay, how much is in the credit cards?
Right now, only about 14,000.
Okay. And the remaining is a debt consolidation loan?
Yeah, like 3 of them, yeah.
Okay. So, Mark, you realize the decisions you guys have made up until this point with money, not great, right? Is that a consensus between you and your wife? Like, how you guys have been doing money isn't working?
Oh, yeah, no, yeah, 100%.
Okay. And I hate that this 26,000 will be added to this list. I'm afraid it will be. I mean, there's nothing, unless they will settle, like George said. I think you guys are just going to be on a hard journey here for the next few years, digging yourselves out of these mistakes. And listen, Mark, nobody's perfect with money, so that's not a shameful thing. Like, nobody's perfect, right? Before you came on, we talked about how Dave went bankrupt, and
Yeah.
got foreclosed on by doing bad investment deals. So from one extreme to the next, like, nobody here is perfect, but also you have to realize, okay, what we've been doing isn't working. And so now we have to change not just our mindset around how we've been looking at money because it's not working, but we're going to change our habits. It's going to feel different. Our life is going to look different, but something has to change in order to get a different result. And you guys have to get at that point. We call it the sick and tired moment around here, that people get to this point where like, I'm so done. I'm so done. And Mark, I hope this $26,000 situation is the thing that just shakes you to your core, that you're like, holy crap, we can't keep doing this. Because so far you've tried debt consolidation, trying to move your stuff around for interest rates and for all the other reasons people do it. But you have to realize what's going to change your situation is you, Mark, you and your wife, not some company out there. And so that's going to take you guys learning a new set of principles and a new set of skills. But that is very possible. And I want that for you as we sit here on this call. and you have to want it for yourself. But to answer, your question on why you called in, I don't think there's much you can do with the $26,000 unless they'll settle.
Or try to get on a payment plan of some sort to pay this over time.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the good news is, Mark, you guys make $160,000. So just lay out some napkin math for you. If you're able to live on a smaller portion of that and throw $50,000 a year at your debt, you're done. 2.5 years from now, you're completely debt-free, even the relocation money. Think about that.
Yeah.
That feels like a long time, but
That'd
you could just sit around for 2.5 years and continue to move around debt with consolidation loans, or we could really make some deep sacrifices and be done and have freedom in 2.5 years and never touch debt again. That would be my goal for you personally.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Well, the math says it's possible, but you have to believe it's possible, and then your actions have to follow.
Okay.
So that's the plan. There's no way around it. I'm sorry you're going through this. It stinks, but I hope it's the wake-up call you needed to go. We got to clean our life up.
Yeah, and stay on the line, Mark. Austin will pick up, and we're going to give you Financial Peace University, which is our 7-lesson course, and Every Dollar Premium, which is our budgeting app, which is going to help you guys look at your lifestyle and say, hey, we're doing nothing. Like we say, beans and rice and beans. You don't go out to eat. You don't go on vacation. You do nothing. And there's going to be an extremeness to all of this because, $14,000 in credit card debt, for the most part, I'm going to assume, Mark, that, a lot of that's just the lifestyle creep of like, we're just going to continue to live and spend where we want. And you have to get to the point, you say, all that's done. And it's a hard line in the sand. You cut up the credit cards tonight. You and your wife sit down together, cut them up, be done with this, Mark. Be done with this. I can only imagine the stress that you guys were in already with $100K in debt. And then you get this call from this attorney of this, relocation, fee that cost that's owed now, which legally it is owed. And so I want this to be your wake-up call. We can't force that on this side of the desk.
We are not lawyers, so good luck with that
We
part.
want it for you, though. We want you and your wife and your family to experience freedom. Like life's too short, Mark, to be living like this. And I think that for a lot of you out there, it just takes an extreme mindset shift, though, and an extreme way of looking at something so different than how you've always looked at it. And that's one of the hardest parts, George, for people. It's just the change. Like, it's going to feel uncomfortable not living with credit cards.
Well, you're enjoying extreme spending, and now it's extreme sacrifice.
Yes, and it's gonna feel off. It feels like you're going backwards. But I'm telling you, if you stick to this, watch these videos in Financial Peace University, do the Every Dollar budget, you and your wife together, and in 2.5 years, as George laid out the math, you guys can be done and have a whole new set of skills for investing and building wealth and changing your family tree. So we're cheering for you, Mark. Thanks for the call.
Create your free Every Dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.